Hello and welcome to a new video on my channel. This video will be about how you can hire the perfect team when it's the right time to hire, and also how to build the perfect SOPs, that the process between hiring and bringing in results from your new employees is as short as possible. Just in short, let me tell you, outsourcing your work really works, but only under one condition. And that condition is important. You need to fulfill that condition. Otherwise, hiring new stuff will destroy your business. That one condition is very simple, and yet one of the most important factors when it comes to hiring people. And this condition is that you know exactly what you are doing. That you can basically share all the gold inside your corporation, all your knowledge with your employees. Because you cannot assume that your employees bring everything to the table and you just bring nothing. It's up to you. You're the business owner, so the responsibility here that you can teach them everything around your business is just and only up to you. To give you a little bit of context, why I'm qualified to talk about that topic. End of last year, we were operating with more than 10 setters for our outbound sales systems. And I can tell you that it worked for us. We operated a couple thousand leads every single month for our customers. We generated our customers multi-million in dollars in additional revenue just based on that system. And still, we decided to cut headcount and to operate in a more efficient way and with higher margins. Because every employee you add to your corporation adds a complexity of 10x to the whole system. That can be based on company culture, that can be based on information, that can be based on information asymmetries. Everything gets 10 times more complex when you hire more people. Because let's take the example of company culture. Company culture needs to be inside the brains, inside the minds. So changing a perception of 2 people is by far easier than for 10 people. Because you have more people. You need to present your things, you need to take them, you need to make them understand your vision. So take that into consideration when you hire. Every hire makes the whole structure of the corporation 10 times more complex. So either when you're hiring super fast, that can work, but also in a slower way. So that was our approach. We hired very fast and now downscaled and have higher margins and even better results. And I'm going to show you in this video how you can do the same and how you can set up your corporation that you can either hire very fast, grow with high pace, or grow at a slower pace in terms of employee growth, but operate with a higher profit margin. So here is the secret system, and that's my recommendation to you. First, build your system until the point where you basically don't need to think about it anymore, because you know every single process inside the company. Second, decide which tasks you want to outsource. Not every task can be outsourced and should be outsourced. I mean, strategical stuff should always be up to you. Some simple task like a VA can do, administrative tasks, you can outsource that. You can outsource outbound setters, so they are booking appointments for you. They're following your process and booking appointments. So basically what that means is you can 10x your outcome, because it's not just you, not just your co-founder, not just your one employee who does the outreach. You can basically scale that up. And when you have a running system, it's a no-brainer, because then you pay, for example, $50 per appointment, but you get out way more value in terms of deals closed, etc. pp. You can also outsource closing, but here I recommend you to just outsource closing when you have a proper closing rate, when you have a proper sales script, and when you have a proper closing process. So when you've closed already around 20, 30, 40 customers, if you haven't done that yet, do that by yourself. I know it's a pain, but you need to get through that, because your employees will have questions. If you cannot properly ask them, they just do what they do. And then the outcome will not be secured and they will get unhappy because they don't close, and you will get unhappy because they don't close. And it's completely, again, up to you. You need to figure out the frame. You need to figure out the process behind. The third point here is that you build SOPs, standard operating procedures. In those SOPs, you write down step by step in a Google Sheet, in a Notion, in a Word document, on a piece of paper, wherever. You write step by step everything inside, which is based from that process. So for example, if you hire a setter, in that SOP, there needs to be a step by step that starts with log into LinkedIn, look for, then insert your ICP, go through a lead list, connect with at least 40 people a day, send out 30 messages which are based on the script which you provide them every single day, send out 20 follow-ups. Everything needs to be inside, not just, okay, now do that. Everything. And the more precise you are, the better it gets. And please let me know in the comments if it would be interesting for you to get an SOP from us and to download it and to have a look at it, to really get an understanding how we build SOPs and that you can basically copy them one-on-one. So just let us know in the comments. Then as a fourth point, you need to post your job post, because otherwise no one will know that you are searching for employees. What I recommend here is go through Facebook groups, go through Fiverr, go through Upwork, go to freelancer.com and then post your job. And what is important here, there are two different kinds of job posts we have. The one is for a fixed salary, simple administrative tasks like a VA can do. They, most of the time, have a fixed price. So that can be ranging between 400 and 800 or 900 euros a month for simple administrative tasks. Most of the time, you can then hire a very good setter from the Philippines, from Bangladesh, from India, somewhere from there, or even from South America. We also had some good experience here. So that is the fixed price. And then you have the variable pricing. And this is what you want to do when you hire salespeople, so setters and closers, because you want to pay them based on a commission. You want them to be incentivized by their work. You want them to incentivize them that they do the deals, that they close the deals. And then as a fifth point, I recommend you to interview at least 20 people before getting to a conclusion. You need a specific amount of interviews to get inside the flow, to get to know the people. And I want you to create a doc, a Google Doc, an Excel sheet, whatever. And you rank every single one of the interviewees by certain criteria. That you have a list of 20 leads or 20 interviewed people with the same criteria ranked inside an Excel sheet. And then you can decide based on data. Because if you don't do that, you will not remember the first call when you're at call 20. Trust me. Then, as a sixth point, hire them and set up a generic contract. So you don't want to write a contract for every single setter. You want to have a generic contract which you can then send out. They just need to fill in the name and sign. And then that's it. Important is of that contract that everything is inside. That there's an NDA inside, that there is a clause inside about the payment. So when you have a commission-based payment, that it's everything inside. For example, that you define what is a qualified lead, what is not a qualified lead, how much do they get when a prospect shows up, how much do they get when there's a no-show. All those things need to be designed inside. And you don't need to necessarily now run to a lawyer. You can also draft it together, use some kinds of chatbots like ChatGPT or other AI services out there to draft the contract, and then you're good to go. As a sixth step, you now need the onboarding. You need a proper onboarding, because if you don't have a proper onboarding, you will not get what you want. So you make a call with them, you onboard them, you guide them through every single detail of the business that they need to know. You guide them through the tracking sheets, you guide them through the SOPs, you guide them through everything. And then you tell them, okay, we need to set some rules. So you invite them to the Slack channel, and then from that Slack channel, you create a dedicated account for them where they can tell you when they start working and they can tell you when they stop working. So that's important, because then you know when they're available to talk to, and when they're available to get feedback and to ask questions. That's very important for you. And then furthermore, you want them to track every single thing they do, because then you can tell them, you can optimize the process. Because if they just do anything and you don't have control over what they're doing, you cannot help them to improve the process. You cannot make your business better. And then, last but not least, give them KPIs. Give them clear and structured KPIs to follow. If you give people no KPIs, if you give people no goal, they will drift somewhere around and end nowhere. So give clear KPIs and define them. And if you follow all those 8 steps, you will hire the perfect teammates. You will hire high performer, which can bring benefit to your business. So if you have any more questions, let us know in the comments. And when you're doing that and you're still struggling with getting more high ticket happy paying customers, there's a link down below. Make sure to click it and you will come to a funnel page. And also, full transparency here, the goal of that funnel page is that you book a meeting with me or one of our team members. And if you click on that, then we guide you through a process to get more high ticket happy paying customers. But also, no worries if that's nothing for you, if you're just here to watch the video. And other than that, I wish you a wonderful day, stay awesome, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.